Hello, very good evening to you. Welcome to Friday night's calendar.
Hello, thank you for joining us. Here are tonight's main stories.
Facing the cuts, concerns that our hair salons could fold as a result of this week's budget unless the government takes action.
We need some support urgently. It's getting to a point where there's a lot of businesses going to close and you'll see salons disappearing from the high street.
Save Our Centre, the campaign to raise £100,000 to rescue a vital lifeline for deaf and blind people in Leeds.
There's been 4 generations. My parents are deaf, I'm deaf, my daughter is deaf and my grandson's deaf. And so really, for me, this place is like a second home.
Let there be light. Nearly 200 solar panels for York Minster as the ancient landmark aims for net zero.
And they're lighting up the night here in Keighley as well. Join us for the stunning Diwali celebrations at one of West Yorkshire's favourite stately homes.
First tonight, there are warnings that the high street fixture, the hairdresser, could be priced out of business unless the government takes action.
One Leeds salon owner says he would like the Chancellor to come in for a haircut so he could spell out to her how her decisions are affecting his industry.
Minimum wage and national insurance rises, plus no help with apprenticeships are on his list. Katie Oscroft reports.
Hairdressers were feeling the heat even before the budget, so measures brought in this week have felt like cuts.
The salon is still very busy, as you can see, but with the rising costs, it's just made everything what we take on a lot less. It's harder with apprentices now, with the wage costs being so high, and no funding from the government in apprenticeships. We're getting a lot, up to 85% less in apprentices. So yeah, it's just been one big struggle.
Ella is an apprentice after starting as a Saturday girl when she was 14.
It's a much better way around to go, and I think you get a lot more experience from doing it this way and usually end up a lot better qualified as well.
This salon's second premises is in the centre of Leeds. Behind these roadworks, planned and approved, say Leeds Council, putting off customers, say the owners.
How we're meant to operate a business when we can't even open.
And this morning, a power cut meant no trade here all day, adding to the pressures.
We need some support urgently. It's getting to a point where there's a lot of businesses going to close and you'll see salons disappearing from the high street. We went from 8 employees down to now we only have 2 apprentices, and that's just due to the cost of staff. We can't sustain that as a business model. It's 50% of our, like I said earlier, 50% of our cost is wages.
But back in Cross Gates, Kimberly knows that if prices aren't kept down, customers won't come back.
Can't just keep putting them up every time costs go up. You can see that they're booking in leaving a lot bigger time between appointments now as well, so I can definitely see the change.
The government, though, says the policies affecting hairdressers are amongst the difficult decisions which had to be taken to repair the £22 million black hole inherited by the government.
Change must be felt.
Vaughan would like the Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, to come to his salon.
I think I'd make a few points and I'd definitely lay out, the roadmap as to how to create a successful business, because I just don't think the government understand at the moment what small businesses are going through and the shocks, the economic shocks and costs that they're incurring as well.
Hairdressers say without support the industry is being tipped over the edge and government policies have left them with little left to trim to stay in business. Katie Oscroft, ITV News, Leeds.
In other news tonight, police have arrested 3 more people overnight in connection with a murder in Bradford. Lukman Ishfaq died in hospital after being stabbed in Barlow Street on the 21st of October. 2 men have been arrested on suspicion of murder. A 24-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of a fray. A 22-year-old man who was arrested on Wednesday has been bailed. 13 people in total have been arrested over his death. Now, you can see more on that story and catch up on all the day's news over on our website. Just head to itv.com/calendar. That's itv.com/calendar.
A centre in Leeds for deaf and blind people could soon close its doors for good due to a decline in income alongside a rising cost to run the centre.
Leeds Society for Deaf and Blind People has launched a fundraiser to raise £100,000 to save its future. More than 300 people use the service every week. Sarah Clark has more, with help from an interpreter and actors' voices.
For the hundreds who come here each week, it's a place to feel at ease, safe and be themselves. The Centre for the Leeds Society for Deaf and Blind People.
There's been 4 generations. My parents are deaf, I'm deaf, my daughter is deaf and my grandson's deaf. And so really, for me, this place is like a second home. When I'm in the deaf club, I can just be normal. Out there, I'm not seen as normal.
The centre is our lifeline. This centre provides interpreters for hearing people so they can communicate with us. The centre provides a place of relaxation for the blind community.
But soon the centre's doors could close for good. Income from both the interpreter service and room bookings have dramatically reduced in the last few years. At the same time, running costs have risen, meaning it's no longer financially viable.
For hearing people, the community is where you live. For deaf people, the community is the deaf centre. And if it closes, it would be a complete nightmare.
It's not only people from Leeds that come, people also come from outside. Where would I meet my friends if it disappeared? Who would I talk to? There would be nothing. I'd be stuck at home, which wouldn't be very good for my mental health at all. It must stay open.
A GoFundMe page has been set up to try and save this vital resource and could help pay for other services like transport, especially for the visually impaired.
For some blind people, it is very, very difficult. You're not having to negotiate buses, you're not having to negotiate e-scooters, e-bikes, electric cars that you can't hear. There's loads of people that were very, very confident in the centre of Leeds, including myself. And a lot of them aren't now.
With no clear sign of what may happen to this place that many hold so dear, those here say they'll do all they can to keep it open. Sarah Clark, ITV News in Leeds.
Yes, let's hope they hear some good news before too long. Now then, still to come on Friday night's calendar with Sally and Ian, we'll be catching up with Jason Donovan as he prepares to tour in our region with a brand new show.
And from Jason's Technicolor Dreamcoat to a blanket of cloud overnight tonight, but we definitely won't be feeling the rhythm of the rain this weekend. The full forecast for the next few days a little later on.
Now, in less than 24 hours, the Conservative Party will begin a new era as it unveils a new leader to the party faithful and the country.
It's been a long process following Richmond MP Rishi Sunak's heavy losses at the general election, but the voting is over and it's down to 2. Kemi Badenoch, the MP for North West Essex, and Robert Jedrick, the MP for Newark in Nottinghamshire, and the former Housing Secretary, of course, who'll discover their fate in the morning.
Well, let's hear now from ITV News political correspondent Harry Horton.
Well, Robert Jedrick is not the favourite in this leadership contest, but in truth it's quite hard to predict. There's not been much polling of Conservative members, and that is because the brutal reality is that being in opposition, you are far less relevant than when you are in government. So we've got less of an idea about how this Conservative leadership contest may end compared to previous ones. Robert Jedrick has pitched himself towards the right of the Conservative Party. He's talked about withdrawing from the European Convention on Human Rights, but he has managed to attract support from across the various wings of the Conservative Party. He says whatever the outcome of tomorrow's result, he will remain committed to his Newark constituency.
Look, my first duty is as Member of Parliament for Newark. I wouldn't even be able to be standing for leader of this party if my constituents hadn't kindly voted for me at the general election. And I'm indebted to them. I'm the only Conservative MP in the whole of Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire. So I've got my work cut out to deliver for them. And in many respects, the platform that I'm standing on to be leader of the party is rooted in my constituency.
Well, the Essex MP, Kemi Badenoch, is the favourite in this contest. She has managed to attract support from lots of MPs in recent days, including the Thirsk and Malton MP, Kevin Hollinrake. He is, of course, the neighbouring MP of Rishi Sunak, the current Conservative Party leader, who is today enjoying his last full day leading the Conservative Party. He spent it up in his North Yorkshire constituency, I'm told. He's been busy holding a constituency surgery, meeting farmers. He's been on a visit to local businesses and to the installation of a fibre broadband site as well. He won't be attending the announcement tomorrow about who his successor will be. One of his aides told me that his job now is to remain a committed, hard-working local backbench constituency MP.
Harry Horton reporting from Westminster for us there with that update. Thank you. Now, an exhibition of so-called disgusting art opens today in Sheffield in a drive to help fix our water systems. Yorkshire Water will be displaying strange objects that they've found lodged in pipes, with items ranging from teddy bears to boots. The event in Meadowhall is warning the public of the problems caused by blockages.
Believe it or not, we found a frying pan in the sewers. Last year we found some suitcases in the sewers as well. People lift up manholes and, throw things down there and then close them up again and think, out of sight, out of mind. But unfortunately, they block up our sewers and they cause some really horrible flooding issues for people.
Now, it's one of the region's most famous landmarks, and although York Minster dates back hundreds of years, it's facing the 21st century's urgent demands for change.
Yes, the cathedral is taking steps to become more climate friendly, and work has started on using solar energy to power it. Well, Jenny Henry, who has a head for heights, has spent the day on the Minster roof to get a closer look at the project.
A medieval landmark towering over York for almost 800 years. But if you look closely, something new is coming. Technology harnessing energy from above.
We're standing just in front of York Minster, where we are currently installing solar panels on the choir roof of York Minster. It's been such an important part of our neighbourhood plan, which is all about creating a sustainable future for the Minster. So environmental sustainability was core to that plan. There's a lot of people talking about the climate emergency, but not a huge amount of action. So visitors to the Minster are going to see a lot of change in the precinct. The Minster is a Grade 1 listed building, so it has to be appropriate change, but we have got to change as a global society, not just in York.
It's on with the hard hats and up the scaffolding.
Welcome to the roof of York Minster.
Wow. The southern choir roof, a pioneer in a great step towards sustainability.
The scale of York Minster is huge. It's actually the largest Gothic cathedral north of the Alps, and it takes a lot of energy to run. The 184 solar panels along the roof here should offset a third of its carbon footprint.
It's a very special project. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to work on a building like this. And yeah, real privilege to work with such a historic building.
There's a lot of skill that goes into this that you wouldn't necessarily need for your normal installation of solar panels. So what differences do we see up on the roof here?
Yeah, here is a lead sheet roof, which is unusual to be putting solar panels on such a roof. So the fixing mechanisms here are specialist. We've got a specialist team in. The design has been very bespoke in order to really protect the building and respect the heritage that we've got here.
The panels will produce 75,000 kilowatt hours of power every year, a testament to the Minster's commitment to being carbon neutral by 2030. An incredible Gothic masterpiece, still evolving, hundreds of years later, a leading light into a greener world. Jenny Henry, ITV News.
Fascinating. She's a brave woman, isn't she? Sheffield Wednesday have been hit with a transfer embargo by the English Football League after failing to pay a tax bill. The embargo means the Owls are unable to sign players without the league's permission. The club say they hope to resolve the issue at the earliest possible opportunity.
Just frustrating more than anything else. I think that's the
overriding emotion. Like you mentioned, I think it's probably going to be just a short-term thing, but I wish that I wish that I wasn't coming on here to talk about this, and we could be, like I said, we could be talking about things more positive.
Now, have you ever looked up and marvelled at the night sky and the dazzling display of millions of stars?
Yes, normally when I've woken up after a night out. Just like, oh,
Well,
yeah.
there's worse things to be able to see above you. I think we've all done that at some stage, haven't we? Well, our region is officially one of the best places in the world to do it. The Yorkshire Dales and the North York Moors are among just 22 locations on the planet designated as dark sky reserves, but earning that international reputation involves constant work to try and cut light pollution, even in seemingly the darkest of environments. Well, Calendar's been to Dalby Forest near Pickering to see their latest efforts to keep the skies dark and to meet the photographer who says for him, looking up at the stars is good for the soul.
So I've done a lot of Milky Way photography from where we're stood at the moment. There's obviously the annual Perseids meteor shower in and around August, and different meteor showers during the course of the year. You can see Andromeda Galaxy from here as well, which is 2.5 million light years away. And of course, occasionally we get the Northern Lights when we're lucky as well.
And you can see that breathtaking piece for yourself on our streaming service ITVX. Scroll down to the news section, select View All, and then choose Calendar as your region. And then you'll be able to see all of our stories there.
Looks fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing that myself. Well, dark skies fringe for half term. Kerry, how are the skies looking?
Absolutely, yeah, we could do with the clear skies, couldn't we? Because I know that it started at the beginning of the week, but certainly the Whitby Lights illuminations go until tomorrow evening, and certainly some more activities on Sunday. I can't promise clear skies, but I didn't promise clear skies today, did I? And there was a little bit of sunshine, so let's take a look at the cloud cover. You could see just from the word go to parts of North Yorkshire there were clear skies, which actually created quite a chilly start to rural parts of North Yorkshire this morning, and some good pockets of sunshine, not for everybody, but definitely some pockets of sunshine. It's really hard at the moment. There's an area of high pressure. Earlier on this week I called it a mucky high or a cloudy high, and it's basically chasing those cloud amounts. We've got a weather front overnight tonight which will produce, I promise, a little bit more in the way of cloud, but good news definitely gave us a bonus during the course of this evening. I don't know if you managed to get out of the office over the last hour or so, but we had the most fantastic sunset. So you can see that there's blue skies here just coming through as the setting sun is uplifting the cloud that's coming in, essentially. So it started off with the pinks and the blues, and then it got increasingly, of course, into the reds and the oranges as the sun began to set and get a little bit closer towards the horizon. So honestly, there's hundreds in the inbox, so I've just popped these in very quickly. So a big thank you, weather photos at itv.com, for all of those amazing shots. Of course, it's the 1st of October, isn't it?
November,
not October, November. It's because I'm looking back at October. It was pretty uneventful, which I think is good news, particularly with what's going on in other parts of the world at the moment with some really horrible weather conditions. So Whitby was our warmest at an average of 11.4, Sheffield at 96% of what we'd expect, so it was the wettest, and Leaning was the sunniest at 134%, so there you go, pretty much around average, or nothing to shout about, which is good news.
I suppose that is good news. Kerry, thanks very much indeed.
I cannot believe it is November already. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not really a huge fan of it getting dark so early in the evening. So it's always a joy when there's something to brighten up the night.
Well, that's exactly what's happening over at East Riddleston Hall near Keighley, where the community is getting together to celebrate Diwali, the Hindu festival of lights. And it's promising to be quite a stunning event. So we've sent our man Michael Billington along to join in the fun. And Michael, it does look wonderful there behind you.
Doesn't it just, Sally? Absolutely spectacular. And, you know, what a better way to spend the weekend or the start of the weekend than in the beautiful surroundings of East Riddleston Hall. Usually a spectacular place as it is, but if it's a cultural spectacle you're looking for this weekend, then there is also no better place to be, because as you can see, it is beautifully decked out and lit up for Diwali. Joe is from the National Trust. Joe, this is the first time you've done this, isn't it?
Yes.
Where did this idea come from?
Well, here at the National Trust, we want everyone to feel welcome at our places, and what better way to do that than join in with people's festivals. And our local Hindu community have welcomed us with open arms. Harkadesh Mysteries, Elders Centre have helped us. We've learned loads from them. They've checked out that we've got everything right, and we're just so excited to be able to welcome everyone to East Riddlesden for Diwali.
And of course, naturally, you would decorate this place for Christmas, so why not Diwali?
Absolutely right, and it's so beautiful with all the lights, the colours, and learning new traditions. Absolutely spectacular.
Well, it is indeed. I mean, you can see there the row of lights on the lead up to the hall here. It looks absolutely fantastic, particularly when it's reflected off the lake there. But the decorations don't stop there. Plenty more to see inside. Let me bring you inside now, because lots of local school children, around 500 of them, have been involved in creating some of the designs here. They've made deer lamps and created a rangoli design. Jairaj is from the Bradford Hindu Council. Jairaj, just tell us about the significance of some of these things.
So what you're seeing over here is rangoli designs on the floor, which is a floral pattern which we make during Diwali. It's done all around India. All Hindu families across the world does this. It's mainly to welcome the goddess, as we say. We have almost 5 days of Diwali festivities happening around in UK at the moment.
As we say, 500 children, or over 500 children locally, who've helped to decorate this and design all of this. What do you make of what they've come up with?
Amazing. I mean, that is the actual true spirit of Diwali, where the whole community has come together. Like if you look at that poster over there, you have people from across Bradford who have come together to make around 500 diya lamps, the pom-poms, and Bradford Hindu Council is quite proud to be able to, partner with the National Trust to get this done.
Very briefly, how will you be celebrating over the next few days?
Oh, we have got almost a month-long list of celebrations, because because we are all working, we hardly get time off from work for Diwali. So we have almost every weekend, we are having gatherings of friends, families, communities coming together to celebrate. Already I have finished, I think, 2 Diwali parties so far, and there are 3 more to go.
Okay, well, Shub Diwali, thank you very
Thanks
much indeed. What a fantastic way, as I say, to spend the weekend, a beautiful and bright way to come and spend the next few days.
Yes, thanks very much indeed, Michael, there, and happy Diwali to everybody, of course. Now, finally, especially for you, the Aussie who's almost become one of our own national treasures. He's donned the Technicolor Dreamcoat in London's West End, and Kylie Minogue, of course, played his on-screen wife.
Yes, we're talking about Jason Donovan, who's coming to Bradford St George's Hall and York Barbican in March next year with a brand new show. Doing Fine 2025 celebrates Jason's 35-year career in showbiz, and as he's been telling Chris Conway, it's a chance for some nostalgia.
One of the biggest names in 80s and 90s pop.
It puts you in a time and a place when you hear Too Many Broken Hearts. Lots of glitter, lots of sequins, lots of sunshine.
There've certainly been plenty of highs in a 35-year career, including, of course, that wedding in Neighbours.
Coming off Neighbours, as an actor, I sort of went the wrong way round. So I felt I had to get out there and not prove myself, but really take my craft seriously. And it's been a wonderful journey since then, and this is a moment to celebrate those 35 years.
That celebration comes in the form of Doin' Fine 25, a new show featuring Jason's catalogue of hits from stage and screen. As part of looking forward to next year's tour, there's also been the chance for Jason to look back, using footage he himself filmed while travelling the globe for Doin' Fine 90.
That footage was very relative to sort of the decade, the 80s and early 90s.
Putting this show together so many years after your worldwide Doin' Fine tour, it must have brought back some great memories.
1990 for me was a turning point because I did my first, big world tour. The sounds, the smells, the clothes, the friends. My shows are full of optimism, energy, and nostalgia. But I hope to, you know, take people on a ride. There's an opportunity to really sort of try and bring all those aspects of the past 35 years together. And yeah, doing fine. 2025, I can't wait.
Jason, thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
And just you tell the viewers at home what you were telling me.
Well, I may at one time many years ago have had my bedroom walls and ceiling covered in Jason Donovan posters. I was a big fan. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Dear me. Here's Kerry with the weather.
Good visibility on the horizon. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hello again. Yes, we're not doing too badly as we head into this coming weekend. A surprise sunrise for many of you first thing this morning, like for Freddie and for Beverly in Scarborough. A big thank you for sharing. And Chris said the skies were rather cloudy, but I can see a little bit of blue there in Haworth earlier on today. High pressure is generally in charge, keeping things fairly settled. A very weak front coming through overnight tonight and into tomorrow, but high pressure still around, keeping any rain-bearing fronts to the north and west, not just for the weekend, but into next week. So overnight tonight, we do have a very weak system working its way in from the northeast, and what that will do is generate a lot of low cloud over the North York Moors, the Dales and the West Yorkshire Pennines, and produce a little bit of moisture here. And elsewhere, we will see the cloud thickening as the night progresses. So for most of us, we are mild overnight tonight, between 9 and 11 Celsius. As we head into tomorrow, great shot from this morning at Caton Bay. A big thank you to Angie for the share. 7:09 and 4:29 are your sun times as we head into the weekend. So for Saturday, disappointingly cloudy, I think, at least for the morning, particularly over higher ground. Mist, murk, mizzle, drizzle. Some light rain and drizzle certainly possible over higher ground. It stays pretty cloudy, but temperatures stay pretty mild and the winds stay pretty light. As we head into Sunday, the better chance of getting some breaks and some sunshine coming through, especially the middle part of the day. We stay mostly dry, but it will feel a little cooler. Temperatures back down to near where we'd expect for the time of year, 11 or 12 Celsius. I think Monday and Tuesday, certainly Monday will be a fairly chilly day. The winds will be light, it will be mostly dry, but we're likely to see an increase in some mist and fog for the mornings too.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
So I don't know about you, Keza, but I feel like we're in Sally's bedroom back in the 80s. Look.
He didn't look like that on any of my posters.
Oh, I think he's doing all right. He's ageing well.
Thanks very much for watching. Have a good weekend.
Have a great weekend. Good night.
Bye.